knowing that the founders and the brand that they were creating had this sense of surprise engineered with everything that they've done. And it's never really been about, here, let me show you what's going on. Uh, Look out for this because this is coming too. You know what I mean? It's usually just been like, oh, pop goes the weasel, here's some new shit. Oh, this is dope, right? So they're still following suit to what we expected from the beginning of jumping into this project. Um, I don't want people to forget that. I do understand that there were promises being made or expectations that were set due to the the release of a lot of different other, I guess, sub projects like the crypto dunks. And people, we hear this all the time, especially on Bad Take: win crypto dunks, win crypto dunks, win crypto dunks. And here comes Kiro, right? So that's usually the person who's speaking about it. But we got to keep this in mind. Like, rationale still applies. Yes, I understand this is Web3, quote unquote, but rationale still applies. We're not going to get crypto dunks in 2023 looking to utilize a technology that's never been made before, right? And I think Cass said it best: the expectations that's set by people just from receiving minute information about certain drops. All that rationale goes out of the window because they're used to them creating something that's bigger and better than they've ever experienced before, which I understand that too, right? It's kind of like a gift and a curse. It's that detox, that Dr. Dre detox syndrome, where people are expecting the best so much that the people who are creating it end up backing away from it because it's too much pressure to even do it. But just keep that same rationale in mind when you're thinking about these type of things. Like, we do see that they are closing a lot of the loops that were created and opened last year. Nothing new has come out this year. Um, Crypto Dunks probably won't come here until that technology is created. And as community members, which we are, it doesn't make any sense in my mind or in my opinion to flood the timeline about expectations that have might been set as an individual, right? I do agree with this, and I have to say this, Cass, and this is the messaging that you can pass along to, up the chain of command. Communication has gotten a lot better than where we once were. 6 months ago, even, communication has increased, but I still feel like it could be even better than where it is right now. Jack made an interesting point talking about the quarterly drops. I don't know if it necessarily should be that. I do think we should be able to have conversations in house, like Cass said, not necessarily on a Twitter platform, but somewhere as community members they can express how they feel and even ideas that they have, or looking for effective communication when it comes to updates and things of that nature. I know that's one thing that we created Bad Take to be there for, right? And I said that this weekend, as things got a little bit dicey with the energy being built up, and people started to erupt because a lot of those opinions or thoughts or feelings that they had held in for quite some time, and they weren't expressing how they were feeling, and it ended up coming out in an opportune time. So if we could have a place, if people don't feel comfortable coming to Bad Take to speak about it, maybe like a Discord channel, or maybe like, more of these Artifact Town Hall meetings in a separate location, only because I don't like airing quote unquote dirty laundry for other people to create false narratives to run with and say, oh, Artifact isn't doing this, Artifact isn't doing that, but still having a effective place where we as community members can release the thoughts or just the feelings that we have within that same community, just to get a better understanding. I think that would be a better choice for the growth that we are looking for as community members. So, been on the soapbox a little bit too long. I guess I got a lot of stuff that I want to say as well. I'll hold off and release that a little bit later, but that's pretty much it.
No, I definitely, I'm on the same page as you guys. It's all the sentiments I feel like we're building back to, and I'm down to help make things happen, however it may look. So even if these town halls shift to Discord, and I know Discord has always been a place where you can definitely reach out and send info, and there's a lot of people who are active, always messaging back and forth. There's obviously a time period with like the monolith FUD where it was like hard for people to interact because there's a lot of people just throwing their thoughts into the ether there. But I think things are back to a bit more normalcy, and so we're here to make the comebacks happen. So I see we got some more people who joined, but let's go to It's Wayne, and then we'll go to Kuro and Scott and Tabby.
Yo, what's up, Cass? Damn, following up after Dre is a bit crazy. But I was just basically curious because of the CAA news that we sort of saw that came out about Artifact, and I was just wondering. I'm not sure if you touched on this before because I joined a bit late, but I was just wondering: is there a plan to sort of inform us around what the plans are with the education that Artifact is planning with CAA?
I don't think there's anything we can share at the moment. That's definitely exciting stuff, but there's a lot of things that are still they're still going to be discussed and worked out. But it's also one of those kind of situations. I think Gotcha had mentioned, a partnership with an agency of any sort. You're gonna have ideas and plans that you might want to work out, but you don't want to necessarily have those aired out right away because those are gonna be potentially the fun things that you partner with those people just to to make happen. So, it's I think those kinds of announcements are more that like behind the scenes stuff that it's just news we want to make sure people know about. They're staying up to date on. Where can't give a whole lot of details at the moment, but as things develop, we'll see what we can roll out. Yo. So let's go to Kuro. Tevi, I apologize, but Kuro just jumped in. But we'll go to Kuro, and then we'll go to Tevi and Scott and Rose.
This is gonna be short and sweet. Yeah, I'm just joking about the dunks thing, but I'm not also joking. I would like a pair of dunks from Artifact. It doesn't have to be the same dunks. I'm willing to pay. I got the Doritos um, jacket, Nike jacket, so we're vibing for Vegas. There's going to be clones in Vegas. There's going to be clones everywhere. Everywhere you go, you're going to see clones, and you'll definitely see me in only Nike. That's all I wear. But with that being said, I would like to like say I do appreciate the effort that they've put forward in terms of like disseminating information, because I don't know anything, and it's good to know something for once. So I do appreciate that.
We don't keep it disseminating information, as Kuro says. Gotta get the clone visibility going, as he's always preaching. And yeah, I think the goal at the end of the day is to make sure people understand what's going on, because like Gotcha mentioned, when you think about some gaming ecosystems, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of detail, and so Artifact is definitely a vast ecosystem, and we need to make sure that there's easy ways to digest what's happening. But let's throw it to Tevi, and then we'll go to Scott and Rose. So, Tevi, what's good?
Hey, so got to catch my breath, uh, slow down my heartbeat, and but yeah. Anyways, so no, just one of the things that I wanted to maybe add a little bit more around as I was kind of sitting here. Oh, did I just drop? Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, you're
Can
good.
you still? Oh, okay, good. I just saw like the signal lost. I was like, oh my God, it crashed. Um, so more around because I feel like we almost need to kind of draw like a line in the sand, right? So I'll speak for myself. I understand that like whatever happened last year, how like all that stuff to me is in the past, and I feel like maybe it's like we have to keep delivering on the stuff that kind of working through that. Like it's just a backlog of things, right? That the team is working on more of on a go forward basis. The thing that I really wanted to express is like there's always that time, that the time period between when we hear something and then when it's going to be delivered. And I think to your point earlier, I think both you and Andre said this, right? But the second we hear something, there's that people get excited, and it's really easy to kind of latch on to, okay, this is going to happen in X amount of time, which is typically shorter than what it actually is. So I think what really comes with that is maybe a little bit more of the managing expectations. 100%, I think the community needs to be better at managing our own expectations of how long it takes to actually do things. But I think there's things that the team can do to kind of help with that, right? Like in the messaging of like the I'm not going to use the CA announcement, but let's say Animus, and actually the Gay Side event was a perfect example. When you guys were talking about this is a preview of the Animus, like the work in progress and everything, but we still require that patience because we're still working through it. I thought that was fantastic, right? Because it wasn't like, because up until that point, I think a lot of people were thinking, okay, GSI is going to be when, we hear a lot more about the Animus and when it's going to get released and all that. But the team came in, you guys came in, and really kind of tempered expectations, reset the stage, and provided the yes, we're working on this. These are early concepts. There's still more work to be done. We're focused on it, and so that whole presentation I think was very well done, and did a fantastic job kind of setting the expectation. So long way to say that again, as we're releasing more information about things, maybe and I know that the team is doing this, right, but like putting even more emphasis around when, because internally, I think you guys probably have a pretty good feel for this is going to take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months to a year, or it's going to be in 2 weeks from now, whatever it is, right? So depending on where that falls, if it's more of a longer lead time item, maybe when you're providing hey, this is going to drop, it's going to drop later in the year, or this is something we're working on, still work in progress, not so much this is happening and now it's like everybody's trying to figure out when is it happening, is it like a now, is it a later, just kind of providing a little bit more of that context around it. And I think if we keep doing that and refining that process, I think things get a lot easier. And I think again, a lot of the people who are here today who have been around understand that for the most part. But I think it just goes a long way in helping, again, set the stage, manage expectations, and makes it, frankly, a lot easier for those of us who are, always on spaces or whatnot to, as people are coming in, or even as we're hyping each other up, be like, hey, yeah, you can be hyped up, but also remember this is what they said, and this is what, where we need to be, again, from an expectation standpoint, because that's really where FUD comes from, right? It's in that time frame between when you think something's going to happen to when it happens, and then the lack of updates. People can create whatever narrative they want and just run with it, and it gets rampant, right? So anyways, just something that was on my mind that I wanted to express out here, and at least, I know it's recorded, I know the team will listen back and take it for whatever it's worth, but I think that would go a long way. So not so much like drop more alpha, just more whatever you're dropping, whenever you're dropping it, providing that time frame context around it. Again, not like this is when it's going to happen, but it's a soon versus a later type update.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point, and it's one that we'll make sure to keep in mind, because there's no slowing down when it comes to Artifact. I feel like anybody who's seen how the ecosystem is or how the team operates, everybody is hungry and they want to do really big things. And I think Animus is right there in that mix. There's a lot of work being put into that, and so I know there's people excited for it, and I know a lot of people are excited to get it out there. So those contexts and those timelines and time frames, we'll definitely try to make sure we shore those things up as they're released. So let's throw it to Rose and Scott, and then we'll add it to Sir Snapback. I know there's a little spaces called Bad Take that starts pretty soon, so I want to make sure that people are able to jump over. So we'll keep it going for another like 15-30 if you want to jump in. But definitely going to start doing these spaces more often. We're going to make sure to get them at least weekly again. And we might even move some things into Discord, as Dre said. So if y'all want to get dirty, want to start yelling, start screaming. I mean, right now everybody's been pretty peaceful and rational, which is expected of clones. But sometimes we get a little curl vibes, we get a little pumpish energy. So you gotta let loose somewhere, and that's cool. We're here for all of it. So let's throw it to Scott first. Sorry, Scott was jumped in before Rose. So Scott, what's going on?
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Just wanted to say what's up while I have time when this 4-year-old and this 1-year-old aren't grabbing on my leg. So, but just checking in, saying hi to everybody. One thing that I would request, everybody's anxious, and Tevi would hit the nail on the head with this stuff, so I don't need to repeat myself. So shout out to Tevi. That's great. But the one thing I want to know is when the big event is, because some of us got kids and we got to pre-plan. You know what I'm saying? So we need some foresight into that, because they're dropping all these bombs on us and things like that, and it's like, man, I don't know if I can get anybody. I booked a vacation for the wife and I, and at the middle of August. So, and then I teach in the fall semester. So it's like, having a good heads up so I can figure out, can I get my TA to teach my class or whatever I got to do? That would be valuable. It's like dropping these events and not being able to go to them kills me, man. So, and it's like people are like, hey, I'm going to Japan. Well, hell, I would want to go to Japan, but they kind of just dropped that and gave everybody like 3 weeks to hop on a plane to Japan. And, that can't happen with us. So, but other than that, I mean, the bottom line is, I would take the kind of dot swoosh approach as well. Like, I like how they're kind of dropping teasers left and right. They dropped the EA Sports thing and dropped it as there. There's more to that, I know. And I know there's more to stuff. And, I think back to when Ben was dropping the picture of the butt of the exopod, that was a little teaser. Something like that would just, inject some excitement into people, right? So, we're all excited. We all want to be here. We love it. I mean, I haven't sold my stuff since Mint, so I'm here for the long haul. Because if I would have sold my stuff, hell, man, we're not getting back to there maybe ever. But if I haven't sold my stuff, what? If I would have sold it, I would have had one of them suitcases, and I'm very sad that I don't have those suitcases. So my kid's screaming, pulling my leg. I'm gonna head off, let Rose talk, but I appreciate y'all. It's good that I'm able to actually come on here, and I know it's been, hard for me to get here. It's 9:00, it's bedtime, so kids are anxious, doing flips. So, all right, love you guys, clones for life. Let's go.
Hey, shout out to Scott. Love the dads and the moms in the space. Speaking of moms, I don't know where Rose dropped off to, but yeah, no, I definitely appreciate you jumping into it. And I think in regards to the events, I also agree that's one of those things we want to help people get more lead time on travel organized and things like that. And so I think we've got to think through some things on what the events might look like for the rest of the year, and we'll just make sure that we try to get something better than a conversation or snippet in a spaces for a confirmation on what's happening. But cool. Let's throw it to Sir Snapback. I see Dre's got his hand up too. We'll go there, and then if Rose jumps in, we'll go to her.
I see Rose. She's right there.
She's down there lurking.
Oh damn! What am I tripping?
Yeah, she switched to her. She switched to her GNSS. That's probably why she's camouflaged, and you're not seeing her. She's on there.
It might be because there's only I'm the only host right now. Might be my phone rugging, but I'm there we go. So let's get her back up here. Rose always has some smart things to say, so definitely don't want to skip her.
Hello.
What is going on?
Sorry, should I go? Or did Snapback want to say?
Nah, it's
No, it's
all
all you.
you.
It's all you.
Okay, thanks. No, I've just been listening intently, and I think I agree with all the points, all the feels as well. I think with messaging, you have to set the expectation so that you can meet the expectation and then hopefully exceed it. I think there's improvements on comms all the way around, and I know for when you have a physical though, expectations on delivery is such a key component to the full like customer satisfaction loop, if you will. And I think that's probably the hardest part. Like we buy the NFT with the expectation of the physical, but yet we don't know when. Even time horizons are funny in Web3. So don't want to repeat what everybody said. I was just going to say that there's always every message, every message that's connected becomes a campaign, and so therefore they can help shepherd us along the journey together, so that they're not just disparate messages or, I guess like press releases, right? Press releases are just point in time. It's just announced. That's it. There's not much more yet. So I think we all have to get accustomed to those types of press releases, and PRs are wonderful. It takes a lot of effort behind the scenes to get to that point. But when it comes to like the different items and or products, the toughest part is connecting all of them because there's this air of mystery. And I mentioned in Bad Take yesterday that there's like this weird dichotomy of us wanting to know when everything, but yet we love the mystery that Artifact has. And it's just a weird spot to be in when you're kind of tugged between the two. But I think when comms is super intentional, that has like a full, the who, what, where, when, why, all packaged together, we all walk away really satisfied, and there isn't that much FUD that can be done because all those boxes were checked. I think it's really when those boxes aren't checked fully, that's where we're just like left hanging, and that's just not a good feeling to persist in as a customer, as a community member, and for people that are looking to enter. We are all ambassadors, and it's really hard for us to kind of share in the joy when we're in this kind of weird loop of like not really knowing what's happening. But it's Web3, we have to take all of it, and really appreciate you spending the time with us here, Cass, to kind of capture all of our feedback, because the worst thing for us is like to have opinions, voice them, and they never reach the project team, and not you or Anya, but like the extended project team. So I really appreciate that this is being recorded and it will be shared.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you joining. Obviously, you dropping gems as always. One thing I want to, I feel like I always reiterate it, but it's just something maybe that's part of how we can help highlight some people. But there are a lot of ideas that end up coming from the community. Like I don't think people really understand how many things that are said by like community members or tweeted or shared in Discord that get shared constantly from either moderators or community managers to founders or anybody really. Like a lot of people, you see Harlan sitting in the spaces lurking. There's a lot of people who sit and exist in this community as much as we do. And I think we're all on the same journey trying to make things better. It's just, these little areas of improvement that we can iron out. It's definitely things that I want to help with and make sure we get sorted. But appreciate you as always, Rays. Tabby, what's going on?
I had to like jump in, and I'm the only demon on stage right now except for Gotcha, so I had to do it. No, I just want to say, like we've been very civil and everything, but look, man, I just want to be a billboard for Artifact, okay? So please, please, please send me my stuff so I can go out there and be a billboard for you guys, okay? That's what I want to say. It's like just send it over so I can run around and be like a billboard. That's my goal right now. That's what I want to do. I'm about to fly across the world. I'm going to be in all the airports. That's why I need my suitcase, right? So if I can get my suitcase, I can get my clothing, then I can be that billboard for you guys. So please and thank you. And that's my demon energy to the max right now. That's all I can muster. So there you go. hopefully, yeah, it is recorded. Perfect. So this is at the, I don't even know like the timestamp. Somebody mark it, Prez, make sure that gets on the billboard next time when you guys are talking about stuff. So I want to be that advertising board. There you go. Thank you. That's my plug.
Well, notes for the spaces is to just take all of this and condense it down to Tevi wants his stuff and to send him his stuff, and he needs his stuff. So I will make sure that we get that message across. And yeah, I think a lot of people, especially for the Rimowa holders, their luggages will be getting to them sooner rather than later. So hopefully Tevi can at least have some of his billboard vibes going. But let's go to Dre real quick, then we'll go to Sir Snapback, and we might. Oh shit! I'm about to look over Alt Anonymous, just sneaking in here. But Dre, what's
No,
going
you
on,
know I'm
man?
gonna throw it to Snap because he was gonna go after Rose, and Tevi pulled a demon move and DDT'd him. So we can go to Snap, and then I'll go after Outs too because he hasn't gone yet either.
Damn, gentlemen, what a
Pre-
gentleman.
appreciate you, fam. Yeah, what's up, everybody? I just want to slide in and say hello as well, man. I love these artifact town halls. It's been a minute since we had one. I've been in the lab cooking, working, trying to listen while I work, kind of jumping in and out. While we were on the phone, I actually managed to score my wife an exclusive invitation into Club 33 at Disneyland and 1901, which if you don't know, it's like there's like a years long waiting list. You got to pay like $40,000 to get in, and there's like a years long waiting list. And after you're in, you got to pay $20,000 a year in dues just to be in the club. So I scored her a exclusive lunch reservation, and she's gonna go to both clubs, get the VI tour. Anyway, so we're both super excited about that. Once in a lifetime opportunity. A friend of mine had one pass, and I gave it to my wife, being the gentleman that I am, and let her have that. So she's over here doing backflips. I was juggling a little bit of that, but I wanted to say, I think there's been a ton of good feedback from what I've heard. I haven't heard everything, but I've heard a ton of good stuff, and there always is in the community. And I think kind of piggybacking off of what you said, Kaz, one thing that's really stood out to me is like, I've been in the past, I've been very vocal with my feedback and kind of my thoughts and opinions along with everybody else. But I think that like what happened is like last year and even a little bit the year before, but especially last year was so ambitious, like getting the backing by Nike and opened up so many doors, and there was so much that could be accomplished that the team just went into like light speed mode, and they were trying to do so much. And I think that they had great ideas, but obviously like towards the end of the year we saw, especially like with the whole Monolith 2 debacle that went down. I think that was like a real turning point, I feel like, in the project and the team and the community and the approach. And I feel like, man, since that time, honestly, my opinion is that I feel like the team has pretty much done every single thing that the majority of us have asked them to do. Some of them, some things take longer than others. They're not exactly happening yet. Like maybe, value hasn't been, the god tier of the clones, and value driving back to them, which, and I mean, some would say dropping some Murakami pills is definitely counts as that way, and the Animus drop and things like that. But in my opinion, from what I have seen, in everything, as far as the comms being updated, as far as slowing down the drops, as far as focusing on what they already have coming out and doing with quality, as far as the team being involved, as far as recognizing creators, as far as empowering creators, as far just all the way down the list. And I feel like everything that we asked them to do, they've been doing. And so that gives me confidence that the things they haven't done yet, they're working on. Like I feel super confident that, okay, maybe every single thing that we want for the perfect artifact, company, hasn't come to fruition yet, but I'm very confident that it will be, and it's in the works, because I've just been honestly amazed at the team's willingness, like you said, Cass, to listen. You'd be surprised how much they listen to the community. Like I see it. Like I'm shocked at how much, like what my man say, what my man say, who I love. But what my man Poopy say, he said, floor it and get the hell out of here. Like it ain't been none of that, man. It's been like listening and hearing and adapting and being open minded. And I just feel I just want to give some flowers in that respect, because just from my point of view, like I couldn't be happier with how much the team has turned things around and listened to the feedback that's been given to them. And so I'm personally just super confident and optimistic that they will continue to do that. Obviously, knowing like you can't listen to 1,000 chefs in the kitchen, and they're going to have to make decisions, and everything's not going to be exactly what they wanted. But I think that, like, for instance, with season one, like, yes, the deliveries are taking a long time because there was a gabillion SKUs and a ton of products and a lot of stuff to be shipping and ton of logistics that have never been figured out before. It's like when I do a video production shoot, like day one's always the roughest. Like day one, the crew's just getting to know each other, the grips and the gappers and the schedule and the actors. But by day 14, you're rolling. And so, like, last year was day one. Like, I feel like the team, learned so much from that season one drop that in the next drop and in the next drop, shipping will be better. Forging windows will be different. Things will be run more efficiently. And it's because of, it's not only because of the experience from season one, but it's also the mistakes that they've made as well. You got to make those in order to learn from them. So I just wanted to kind of give a little perspective and love as far as that goes. And I think that's awesome. We're having this space because so much good feedback has been given, and I know that they're going to listen to that feedback and incorporate it the best way they can.
Yeah, long long ways away from Monolith 2. It feels like an eon ago. Y'all don't understand. I got some gray hairs. I only have one gray hair actually, but I'm pretty sure it might have been from around that Monolith time period, and I understand that we want to move to just a better place. I think long term the best part about all this, and what I've kind of told others in the past, is like, when you think about where things will be in 5 years, or when you have the long-term vision, the issues that we run into now aren't going to be the issues that we have then. And it's only because we did all of it. We've done the cartwheels and ran into the mud on certain topics, and then we know what to avoid moving forward. So it's like, this is the way cool things get built. And I think, the foundation's there, and we just got to keep making it happen. I'm excited. I've said it a lot of times. I know we're not supposed to be hyping stuff as team members this year, and so a lot of us have been reserved. But the stuff that people want to see Artifact do, like, there's going to be a lot of those moments happen, and I think it's just a matter of how it looks. That's part of the goal, is to try and align those perspectives, like what the expectation is from the community, and then what we're gonna put out there. But let me get off that rambling. Let's go to Also Anonymous, and then we also gotta. Actually, I've never heard from. I hate to skip you also, but I've never heard from Sushi and Gami before, and I definitely want to throw it to them. So, Alt, even though it's been a long time, I'm gonna skip you and see what Sushi's talking about.
So me first.
Yes, sir.
What up, GMs? Cass, really love that you're activating the Artifact Town Hall. Cass Spaces for the win. Cass for president. But I have a couple of questions. Sorry I'm late as well. I just woke up. But yeah, the first one is, can you give some alpha? I don't know if you've already answered this before, but can you give some alpha on the Artifact signing with CAA announcement? What can we clones look forward to for that partnership? Because I think there's a lot of discussions and speculations around the clone community. We're thinking of series and whatnot, so maybe some alpha there. And the next one is, when Animus? That's it. I only have a couple of questions. What's up?
Damn, Sushi came in hot with like the two the two questions that got to be the hottest. And to give you the best answer that I can, I would say that the CA stuff is going to be things that you probably, I feel like most people won't see the benefits of it in person. There's going to be things that, obviously, CA, if you guys don't know, it's a creative and branding and IP building agency, and so they're very popular and have a lot of a lot of reach and contacts across different platforms and mediums. And so where that could lie with Artifact, it's, there's a lot of different things. So IP building is definitely the name of the game, and Artifact pays attention to how to do that. In regards to Animus, I think people are underestimating how much work is being put into Animus, because I think it's just really cool what the team is trying to do. And you could go back and listen to the Gaysai live stream, and they definitely talk about it there, and you can see some of the early leaks and things like that. And yeah, y'all, it's exciting. It's dope to see people that are working on things that they're passionate about, and I definitely only work with people who are passionate about this stuff. So, which, speaking of, I need to actually jump off here in a bit to go jump on a call and do some fun stuff. Make sure we get some of these things rolling, so we can close it down here in the next like 5-10 minutes. If Alt Anonymous is going to be one of our last speakers, if anybody else doesn't want to say anything. Oh, Dre's hand went up, right? He was like, I got you, don't worry. Oh, girl, dude, damn. They said, no, let's get 6 minutes on the clock added. Alt, let's throw it to you first. Talk as long or as brief as you would like to, fam. Oh, get this man off the stage, bro. I fucking hate this guy. Yeah.
Bro, you had that coming, my guy. I'm just gonna leave this going as I talk. No, you definitely needed a Rickroll there for that. Uncalled for. No, but it's I appreciate you putting on the space, my guy. Like, it's always a vibe with cast hosting, and I'm happy to hear there's gonna be more town halls on the regular, because we definitely need this stuff. And definitely, like, overall, like, yeah, I just wanted, like, everything everyone's kind of been hitting on has just been kind of on point. Like, it feels like a lot of the negative, sentiment has kind of run out of steam. Like, it's hard to talk too much shit against Artifact at this point. They just keep delivering time and time again, right? They're still kind of shaping the best way to communicate and implement drops and forging and stuff. But it's like, yeah, they're literally kind of creating a new path that doesn't exist, right? So, like, I think it's okay to give them plenty of leeway to build that stuff out. But just wait until, like, we start getting, like, the more legit pieces from season 1, like the jackets and stuff, and then the AF1s and the CRLs. Like, man, everybody's gonna be so damn jealous that they faded Artifact, right? And Snap was hitting it on the head. Like, there's just so many moving parts that have been building for so long, and I think it'll slowly kind of all fall into place. Like, even talking about the Apple Vision, right? Like, that's like a year out. You know what I mean? Like, yet nobody's gonna give them shit for it, right? Like, but also think about that. Like, where's stuff headed? And we're so far ahead of the game. Like, we're poised to just really excel when these kind of, shackles get broken off of this technology and stuff. I think the 2052 vision is, like, we're still on pace for that, right? And speaking of Animus, like, just hearing the founders talk about the art and how much more time that they've had to work on the art and craft this collection, a lot more than they had with clones, and look how epic clones were. So, like, yeah, I'm hella excited, and just want to say I appreciate this community as always.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Alts. There's some Animus that I have seen that I don't want to do any insider trading. I will never do insider trading. This is a recorded spaces, so if the SEC listens, I would never do such a thing. But damn, y'all, there are some things I want to take right away. I just know I can't do it. But damn, y'all.
I'm gonna go back and edit that. I'm gonna take the. I already told you. I told you this was gonna happen. I told you, and you went and said those words. So now I just gotta edit this out. It's gonna be on the timeline tomorrow. So,
well, it's been fun working with you guys. I'll see if I can get a cell phone from jail and have my Twitter up and running. But yeah, let's throw it to Dre, and then we'll throw it to Kuro. Kuro might be the last words. He might take us home.
Yeah, that Rickroll had me weak in real life, man. That was excellent right there. I wanted to come up and say this. I know Compound has already started Bad Take because it's past that point. That's my man stays efficient with the timing. But I had to say this. this was the whole point of Bad Take. So we didn't have to have these moments of silence where people were worrying and wondering and not sure and not knowing. Like, this is the main reason why, honestly, I put as much energy and effort that I do into it, was to have an open space for people to come in and speak about whatever it is that they want to speak about, whether it's artifact related or not. Recently, I've been receiving feedback from certain groups of people saying, or certain individuals within groups of people saying, that they don't feel comfortable enough to speak there. But my answer to that is, it's for anyone else who's feeling that same way. If you don't feel comfortable there speaking about what the issue is, where would you feel comfortable? Right? Because that's the whole point, effective communication. And I'm open to suggestions. If you don't want to do it in person with a lot of other individuals within the community, cool, jump in the DMs. But that's the main point behind it. And honestly, that's the reason why we don't feel as much FUD as we once did as a community. We didn't have anyone anywhere else to go, and we would just erupt and spill all of that shit all over the timeline. And it became a shit show, right? So that was the main intention of building that out with Compound from my perspective. And I still extend that invite to anyone and everyone who's feeling some type of way, who has some type of questions, who want to vent, who want to talk, who want to yell, who want to scream. Like, whatever it is that you want to do, you can come there and do that there. I understand if it might be a little late. The homie Scott came up here and he's talking about he got to put his kids to bed. I feel that as well. I'm actually throwing up back and forth the idea now to do an AM or afternoon Bad Take as well, just so the people who are on the other side of the world or within the East Coast parameters can jump on and have a space for them to do that there as well. Then they don't feel like they're missing out just because a different time zone. So I got to come up here and throw that out there, man, because we do this every single day and we do it with intent every single day. And I just want to make sure that everybody who's a part of the community understands that. There's no ulterior motives. It's honestly just so we as a community have a place to go. One thing I always tell people is it's the place to give the voice to the voiceless. And we were voiceless for so long. And we are no longer that, and we're now stronger than ever. So come through, man, and cuss if you want to cuss. Shit, but I think to cuss too. You know what I'm saying? But before I go, I want to say this to Kaz. There is a trip coming up soon, but at the end of the month, I plan on going to Vegas. My question to you is, will I have my suitcase by the end of the month? Maybe? No? Yes? That's it. That's all I got.
Man, I would have to ask the people who know the people who got the answers for that. Yeah, that's my answer for you. No, I would have to double check. I think there's a lot of things shipping soon for Ramoas. So yeah, I can't tell you exactly when you're gonna get yours, but maybe you get home, you got it. Maybe you get it before you go. Who knows? There's a future where you could have it have it at some point. But yeah, don't let me be your DHL delivery expectation. So just keep an eye out for that. That goes for anybody else too. If you're expecting anything, just make sure you look out for that DHL stuff.
Man said there is a future where you can have it at some point. If that wasn't the most political answer I've ever heard in my life, I like that. I'm gonna use that. Thank you very much for the update.
Hey, Kaz, those are coming. Is Rimowa shipping those, or is Artifact shipping those? Those are coming straight from Rimowa, right?
Yes, sir. They are coming from Rimowa. So they're definitely helping to get some of this stuff out, and that'll be part of the reason why I think it'll move a little bit quicker for everyone. So, and anybody who has not, if they're still interested and you want to either forge your NFT to get the physical, or if you're trying to get one of the physicals still, the forging event's open till the 30th. So some of the ones that have already been forged are going to start shipping on those, but then the rest they'll be holding until then. So, yep, just make sure to get that going by the 30th. And shout out to what Dre was saying, though. I really do appreciate what Bad Take's been doing, especially how everything has gone in the clone community. I think there was a time period where we didn't have a lot of people doing a lot of spaces, and so now seeing all sorts of people, like shout out to Sushi and Nagami. I know they're doing the Omakase show as well. I see quite a few others in here. Fawn, she's always doing crazy amounts of spaces. The Clone Queen's got one with the ladies of Bored Apes tomorrow, so make sure to tune into those. We're gonna, going back to some of those conversations earlier, we're gonna definitely make sure we have more calendar places so people can keep up with these. But right now, everything's just in the Artifact Discord at the top of the events. So yeah, let's throw it to Kuro. Damn, is Kuro gonna take us out? Is he gonna end the spaces and then send all of that energy over to Bad Take? Because I feel like that's kind of what's supposed to happen right now.
I know usually I'd come in on some nonsense, but Dre's already asked the question. Mid-August, doing a presentation on clones. So hopefully I'm just...
Damn, Kuro rugged for like half of that. I heard like mid-August presentation on clones, and it was like the most like half Kuro alpha I've ever heard because he was very like rational. I was expecting the Drake mix to pop off.
No.
I can interpret.
We have some
He
Uzi
pulled
Vert
a
in the
Tevi.
background because I just pulled up at home.
He needs his suitcase. He wants to be a walking billboard. Get the man his stuff. That's what he said.
Exactly. And on that note, we can end the space.
All right, that's it, y'all. Artifact got to go ship stuff. We gonna ship all that shit. Got to make sure everybody's walking billboards.